Hey everyone, Max at 343 Labs here. We're a music production school based in New York City, Berlin, and online. And today I'd like to show you a clip by one of our instructors, the one and only John Selway, which is taken from his weekly stream, which airs right here on our channel. Now, if you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification below. Let's get into it.
Let's take a look at this Drumazon 2 then, huh? Right, so I mean, I just installed it. I've barely looked at the original Drumazon before. It's pretty straightforward, but it's the way they've set it up is it's really easy to just, it's kind of like when you go through the different scenes and kits, it's kind of like going through, samples. It's like going through drum loops. It sounds polished and produced. It's got effects. I mean, I think that's kind of one of the selling points is it's a whole like drum production, 909 drum production mini studio, right? You can do a whole polished mix with effects and bus effects and individual processing for each sound. So yeah, it in a way sometimes I'm like it's a little overcomplicated for me. Like I'm the kind of person who likes having his drum sounds one track per sound and building it up like that. I don't usually use full kits all the time, but there's a different vibe when you're using a drum machine as an instrument and it's all kind of playing together. So I guess, in a more hardware sort of focused workflow, if that's how you're thinking about your instruments, where you've got a drum machine that does all of it, also working that way, you may come up with different stuff than if everything's separated out in your DAW. So I don't know, let's go through some of these scenes and different patterns and different kits and check out what it sounds like. I mean, that already sounds like very techno. These are already, just like I said, it's kind of like good drum loops to start with. I mean, that sounds like a beat I would make. So I noticed some of these are like kind of geared towards different tempos. It's tagged really well. Like each of the patterns, each of the scenes have attributes that we can filter by. So like that's the tempo this was written at. That's good. And that one's supposed to be 135, which makes sense. All right. Guess they're emulating particular drum rhythms from famous tunes. I mean, if that's all you want, if you just want to load up some cool 909 based drum loops as a starting point, I think that's pretty cool. And it sounds really good. The quality sounds really good. Who else is new in the chat here today? Los Flying Kites from Costa Rica. Welcome. Aaron 303 is here. Raccoon from Greece. Nice. And James, did I say hi to James Porch already? I'm sorry. Did I do it? Hello again, or hello for the first time. And Nick B. All right. So this is Techno Saturday. We want to make some techno, and I don't want to spend the whole time going through different patterns. Although, it could be interesting to like find individual elements and combine them together in different ways. We could even load up multiple instances of Drumazon. Oh, that's the other thing I was thinking today is only using this to like start a track. Like no other samples, no other synths, no other effects, just play with the drum machine and see what we can get. That's kind of, and also that's a really good way of getting to know this machine or this plugin. All right, let's go back to the init scene, right? And so that's going to give us just all of the basic unprocessed sounds. And the sequencer is empty. I guess I don't usually have a hardware related workflow, so I'm wondering, like, do I want to approach this with external MIDI and play it, or do I want to try to use the internal sequencer? And I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So I could. Oh, that's the other. There's actually a synth here. I was playing around with the idea of looking at Lush today, but I feel like this is a little complicated. So that's there, but you know, let's just keep our focus on Drumazon too. Give me a BPM. I want a BPM. Let's collaborate a little bit. What tempo are you feeling today? I know more than one of you are going to throw in a tempo. James Porch says individual outs. Yes. Maybe that's what we'll do. Although we have to figure out how the audio effect routing works with the individual outs. But this thing does have all of that. We can go in and there's like channel strips for each instrument and a master bus, so like we can go through and process each of these separate instruments. There's the kick drum, there you got your 909 parameters, and then you've got filter and EQ and compressor. That's it. And then there's like audio out where you want to assign it to different slots, different outputs. All right. Maybe we'll do that. We'll do it like I would do it on an analog mixer, a regular mixer. All right. So we've got 135, 138, 133.33, 135, 128, 135, 128, 138, 128. What's the average? All right. I see a few 135. I see a couple 135s and I see a couple of 138s. Let's do let's do around that. I think the 130 something. You know, I like 133, so we can do a lot groove on vinyl. Okay. Let's see. Let's get our 136. All right. 136 instead of 135 or 138. Is that okay for you guys? And let's see how the sequencer works. I mean, right away, that sounds like an unprocessed, straight out of the box 909 kick, which is like, you know, most of the time when we hear 909 kicks in tracks, they are saturated or clipped or compressed and EQ'd and all of that. So I think we need to play around with this. We want a less punchy kick. If we want more boom, we can bring that decay up. Okay, my 909 tune depth or whatever, does it even have this? I guess you have. This was only available on the already. That sounds like a modified analog 909. Like my 909 didn't sound like that when I, you know. So having it be like a stock 909 does not have a high-pitched chirpy knock like that. That for sure. So the tune depth is definitely like added, right? That's tuning the fundamental. And that's also tuning the fundamental higher and lower than you could actually do on the real 909. So it's already like a modified 909, but at its nominal settings, it sounds really original. I'm going to keep it punchy. All right. You can really modify the transient a lot with that attack knob. It's a real sharp pop. Okay. Now what do we want to do to this? We want to... We have to turn this on. Aha. right, we got to be careful with that, with the filter. Let's see what else we got in here. We got EQ. I want it to be thicker. There it is. A little more thump. I haven't worked like this in so long. But it's so like switching to a different plugin from using the live stock devices. It's like slowing me down so much. Like, what are you guys listening to? It's always just like playing with a kick for an hour. All right, let's turn the compressor on and see what we can do. Interesting. Okay. There's a stereo spread. You probably don't want to do that to your kick too much, but that's interesting. Hearing those high frequency transients getting spread out like that. Yeah, it's doing a Haas effect. So if I put that in mono, you hear it's phasing, right? So we want to be careful about using that. All right. Let's get some other drums in here. Going to be kind of old school about it with lots of hi-hats. All right, let's get over to... All right, since we're mixing through the internal bus, let's play with that a little bit. And right now, okay, the kick drum's going to the master. Let's go to bus 1 for the kick drum and start playing around with what this thing can do. We've got a clipper. We can split the frequency. Oh boy. I don't know what this crossover is doing right now. Sounding pretty hardcore. All right, so I don't want to do like really hardcore right now. I'm just, I think a lot of us know that distortion's an important part of like hard-edged kick sound design, right? I think I want to keep it more like that. Definitely 90s sounding like that, right? It sounds like you're driving it through an analog mixer at this point. Let's play with the kick going into that, actually. I like it lower. Yeah, I like it lower. Playing around with the compressor and the EQ a little bit going into the distortion. All right. Somehow this machine is leading me to like stomping 90s kind of dirty grooves. That is what's happening. Yeah, it's sounding James Portia's Mackie tone. I guess that's like, I know that tone because I did so much with overdriving Mackies back in the day. Okay, let's play around with the hi-hats a little bit. I still feel like that kick drum's a little bit overdone. I'm going to leave it less boomy for now, a little sharper, punchier. Leave some room for some other elements later. You can always play around with it. All right, there's a EQ after the distortion. Oh, it's off. Remove some of this low mid stuff. Just want it to kind of thump a little bit. I don't know. Let's switch over to those hi-hats. Let's play with the hi-hats a little bit. I'm going to do the hi-hats through all right. All right, I just put the hi-hats into the same bus as the kick, and they're gonna get a little brutal, I think. But I like that. They're just too loud. Where's the level? Or maybe I want to go to bus 2 and give him some chorus. It'd be nice if I don't know. It'd be nice if there was the same distortion in bus 2. But I'm okay with that. High pass these a little bit. Play around with that. I mean, the chorus right now is set up more like a flanger, right? Headphone users, be warned. I hear you. Let's smooth them out a little bit. So bus send, I can send bus 2 back to bus 1. Does that sound stupid? That's crazy. Interesting. You can do like a dry wet thing. You could I have like or a parallel thing. I have like the distorted hi-hats and the chorus flangey hi-hat. I don't know if that's like, is that necessary? I don't know. And the highs, it's okay. We can play around with the stereo spread on those. All right. More. There's even more hidden controls. There's sidechain for the dynamics. There's a sidechain from the kick on the hi-hats now. That's great.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget, we put out new content every week, so don't forget to check back often. And if you'd like to learn more about music production and take a course with us, or just join our community, come check us out at 343labs.com. See you next time.